The Virtual World by Taylor Smith. Grasping the concept of a virtual reality can become quite complex when you think about what is real and what is fake. As humans, we are emotional creatures, so it is natural to seek an emotional outcome such as happiness or fear from interactions. In order to understand the virtual world, you have to know what it is and its characteristics. The first question you need to ask is, what is the virtual world? According to Wikipedia, a virtual world or digital world is a computer-based online community environment that is designed and shared by individuals so that they can interact in a custom-built simulated world. Users can interact using text-based, two-dimensional or three-dimensional graphical models called avatars. The purpose of such a world is for entertainment, social, educational, medical, or training uses. The two most common types are entertainment-based and social interaction-based. Some examples of this include computer games such as The Sims and Farmville, and video games such as Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed. According to a New York Times article, A Matter of Perception, a headset called Oculus puts the players inside the game like no television can. The connection between a player's point of view in the game and the real world makes the experience feel more natural when the player is surrounded by the game. Hospitals also use this technology to train surgeons, but these headsets can cause motion sickness in people who use them. Next, we will look at some aspects of interacting in a virtual reality. Interacting in a virtual world is deemed to be convenient. Our society is surrounded by technology, so it is understandable not to want to stop when you get home. The more practical uses of virtual reality revolve around the brain and human development. Being immersed in a virtual world can help training programs like treatment for veterans suffering from PTSD and medical training for surgeons, according to the same New York Times article. In a study from International Journal of Disability Development and Education, 196 individuals with disabilities were tested before and after joining the virtual world called Second Life. After 3 months, the test showed improved scores in people who were depressed, had anxiety, who were lonely, and had low self-esteem. These results were based on the number of friends they accumulated and how they felt about the person they created. This means that the digital world created a sense of confidence in those individuals. There is no real human interaction, so your real identity isn't known, which can be seen as a good thing or a bad thing. Furthermore, we need to look deeper into the characteristics of immersing ourselves in the digital world. The main barrier is that there is no real human interaction, and again, this can be seen as a good thing or a bad thing. It makes you feel like you are with people, but the body knows it's not real. According to biological anthropologist Helen Fisher, the human brain knows the difference between fantasy and reality, and that it needs real interactions such as touch and taste to develop a relationship with the person. The technology is not there yet to completely interact this way, but is moving in that direction. Another characteristic is that it creates a socioeconomic divide. According to the American Prospect, immersion in media affects people psychologically and has an effect on politics and economics outside of the headset. Firms are trying to integrate immersion and consumption, but the main problem is that it has an effect on the way we act. Which brings me to my next point. Such immersion affects the way we act. In a study done by the Department of Communication Sciences at the University of Connecticut, the group wanted to discover the relationship between game realism and user aggression. They used a boxing game with different controllers using a Wii remote and real boxing gloves. They observed that the more natural the interaction was, the more immersed the person became. The study uncovered a link between situations that call for aggressive thinking and an increase in cognitive aggression after gameplay. So the exposure to situations that call for aggressive thinking leads to an increase in the likelihood that a person would behave more aggressively. This graph shows how much the average American adult spends using electronic media. 11 hours. That is an hour shy of the time between sunrise and sunset. It is clear that technology is a big part of our daily lives. It is important to note the many characteristics of the virtual world and the effects it can have on a person. A digital reality can serve society through the treatment of soldiers with PTSD or affect people psychologically. So the next time you become a little too immersed in your favorite game, remember the effect the virtual reality can have on you. These are my sources. Thank you.